Hi, I'm the Moroccan Angel, and I'm here to help others set things right with their Maker. Hi, how are you today? I'm going to share something with you that I think is worth thinking about. For all of you who are claiming to be atheists or questioning the existence of the Creator. So imagine you were told that you had a great grandfather who invented, let's say, airplanes or the wheel or electricity or something. And you only have these verbally conveyed accounts of this individual that is being said to be your great grandfather. Now, there are no photographs, no personally written material directly from him, only written accounts by others. Outside of these, what proof do you have that your great grandfather ever existed? No DNA test either, because there was indeed a time when this was not available. So what evidence do you actually have that you had, in fact, a great grandfather? Now you could say, well, I trust my great grandmother. I trust what she's telling me, or my mother. Because you have a natural tendency, because of that natural bond, you have a propensity to trust them. That what they're telling you is true. That he existed. Now, I know it's difficult to consider it from this perspective, but you do know that there was indeed a time when there were no DNA tests. The knowledge of this was not yet revealed. And so there was the necessity of the mind to connect not only the audio, the verbal accounts, but the need to connect physically visible objects to what was believed, because it can be audibly heard or physically touched and seen. This was needed. These elements were and still are used as a way to verify reality. Problem is, you can't always verify the reality of something or someone solely dependent upon what you can audibly hear or physically see with your eyes. For example, you can't see the wind. Granted, you can see the effects of the wind at times, or you can physically feel it at times. You see, people tend to verify reality contingent upon their own personal construct of verifiable evidence, which may or may not be true. There are individuals whose minds are in a psychological state in which they alone audibly hear voices speaking to them. It's psychologically termed schizophrenia, known as auditory hallucinations. It's deemed hallucinations because others can't audibly hear it as well. But in truth, just because others cannot hear it doesn't in fact make it an hallucination. Now, of course, the medical world has their way of looking at it and identifying things, and there's another way. But the main point is verifying a reality or truth solely upon your own personal abilities, your own personal perceptions or experiences. This can be a grave mistake. A mistake all too familiar, you see, with the atheist. You see, at the time, before pictures, DNA tests, and such things existed, you either believed what your grandmother or your grandfather conveyed to you about your great grandpa, or you didn't. You could look at the inventions that they verbally communicated as the work and wonder of your great-great-great-grandfather and say, I do believe he invented this. I believe what you're telling me. Or you could choose not to believe it. I mean, you could wait and want to have more evidence, solid evidence, if you will. There's no harm in wanting so. You see, the problem arises when you start to badmouth the very existence of this great-great-great-grandpa, hurling insults and blasphemies without the knowledge if he existed or not, insulting the ones conveying the message to you, and abusing what was said that he invented. This is the problem. And then when the DNA tests become available and more solid evidence begins to emerge, what then? Are you going to bite your tongue and say, I'm sorry? I didn't mean to say all those nasty things. Did you not have enough sense to be silent about the things which you know not or do not understand? You see, for those who label themselves quote-unquote atheist, just because they don't accept or believe the evidence, that doesn't mean it's not evidence. There are those who do believe that man is a walking, breathing demonstration of the power and creative awesomeness of God. The sun, the creatures of the earth, the way they function, the earth itself, the microscopic organisms invisible to the naked eye, yet all the more fascinating. The universe. One who says to you, hey, you were created by the Eternal One. The idea of you came from his mind. And the general sense, of course, of humanity. You could say, I don't believe that. Or you could say, all right, how do you know this? How do I come to know this? And then respectfully wait. Can you not do this? At least have the decency and maturity to hold your tongue. The offense is not in you desiring evidence. It's in your rudeness, your insolence. Must you insult, hurl blasphemies, and behave crassly just because it hasn't yet been made a reality to you? I can promise you this. At some point, I'm not certain the exact moment, but at some point, you will step into the reality of his existence. And this encounter will either be on friendly terms or sheer terror. And you may ask, Meeka, how can you promise such things? Because in the hour of my brokenness, he visited me. I've seen him. Make no mistake about it. He exists. And without a doubt, you will give an account. Perhaps you've forgotten, or you are certainly unaware, that that's his breath in your body. And yes, man has his measures of inflicting pain or torment on the physical body. But trust me when I say, you don't know terror like the terror that comes from the Creator's wrath. He is not human. I repeat, he is not human. And get it straight. This is his world, his resources, his life. Respect that. I'm the Moroccan angel. Do what is right. Always. It matters.